Right now, as you're watching this video, I bet there's at least three different thoughts racing through your mind. Maybe you're thinking about that text you haven't responded to, or that presentation next week, or wondering if you should grab a snack. Sound familiar? You're not alone. The average person has over 60,000 thoughts per day, and if you're an overthinker like most of us, about 95% of those thoughts are the same ones you had yesterday and the day before that. Overthinking is like having a browser with 47 tabs open. Everything runs slower, and you can't focus on what actually matters. It's that voice in your head that turns a simple, "How was your day?" text into a 20-minute analysis of your entire relationship. It's lying awake at 2 a.m. replaying that awkward thing you said 3 years ago to someone who probably doesn't even remember your name. But here's what most people don't realize. Overthinking isn't actually thinking. It's mental spinning. Real thinking solves problems and creates solutions. Overthinking just creates more problems to think about. It's like trying to solve a puzzle by shaking the box harder. You're not getting closer to the solution. You're just making more noise. I'm going to share with you 7 science-backed strategies that can literally rewire your brain to stop this mental hamster wheel. But first, let me ask you something. And be honest, how many times today have you caught yourself spiraling about something that hasn't even happened yet? If it's more than 3 times, you need to stick around for strategy number 4. It's a game changer. Strategy number 1, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's based on neuroscience. When you're overthinking, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, is hijacked by your limbic system, the emotional part. This technique brings you back to the present moment by engaging your senses. Here's how it works. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Do this right now while you're watching. This works because you're forcing your brain to focus on concrete, present moment information instead of abstract future scenarios or past regrets. It's like hitting the reset button on your mental state. Strategy number 2, set a worry window. This sounds counterintuitive, but scheduling time to worry is incredibly effective. Pick a specific 15-minute window each day, maybe 7 p.m. to 7:15 p.m., and that's your designated worry time. When anxious thoughts pop up throughout the day, tell yourself, "I'll think about this during my worry window." This technique works because it gives your brain permission to worry, which paradoxically reduces anxiety. It's like telling a child they can have candy after dinner. Suddenly, they stop asking for it every 5 minutes. Studies show that people who use worry windows reduce their overall anxiety by up to 35% within just 2 weeks. Strategy number 3, the "so what" ladder. This is my personal favorite because it exposes how ridiculous most of our worries actually are. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask "so what?" and keep going until you reach the bottom. For example, what if I mess up this presentation? So what? People will think I'm incompetent. So what? I might not get promoted. So what? I'll make less money. So what? I'll have to adjust my lifestyle. So what? I'll figure it out like millions of other people do every day. Most of the time, you'll realize that even your worst-case scenario is manageable. And here's the kicker. 85% of what we worry about never actually happens. That's right, you're stressing about imaginary problems. Strategy number 4, and this is the game changer I mentioned earlier, the action trigger. Instead of trying to stop negative thoughts, which is impossible, give yourself a specific action to take when they arise. This could be doing 10 push-ups, writing in a journal, or calling a friend. The key is making it physical or social. Why? Because overthinking happens in isolation and in your head. When you engage your body or connect with others, you're literally changing your brain state. It's like switching from airplane mode to being fully connected. One study found that people who used action triggers reduced their rumination by 58% in just 3 weeks. That's better than most medications, and the only side effect is feeling more empowered. Strategy number 5, the evidence court. Pretend you're a lawyer and your anxious thoughts are on trial. What evidence do you have that this bad thing will actually happen? What evidence do you have that it won't? What would you tell your best friend if they came to you with this same worry? This technique works because overthinking relies on emotional reasoning. I feel anxious, therefore something bad will happen. But feelings aren't facts. They're just information, and often they're giving you false information based on past experiences that aren't relevant to your current situation. Most overthinkers are incredibly good at building cases against themselves, but terrible at building cases for themselves. It's time to be your own defense attorney. Strategy number 6, the future self-visualization. This one might sound weird, but neuroscience shows that when you imagine your future self, your brain activates the same regions as when you think about other people. This gives you perspective. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now. What does that person think about the thing you're worrying about today? Can they even remember it? This technique helps you realize that most of your current worries are not as significant as they feel in the moment. Time has a way of shrinking problems down to their actual size. That embarrassing moment from high school that felt earth-shattering, your future self probably laughs about it now. The same will be true for whatever you're overthinking today. Strategy number 7, the good enough principle. Perfectionism and overthinking are best friends. They feed off each other. You overthink because you want to make the perfect decision, but perfect decisions don't exist. There's always more information you could gather, more scenarios you could consider, more people you could consult. Instead, aim for good enough, with a plan to adjust as you go. This doesn't mean being lazy or careless. It means recognizing that a good decision made quickly is usually better than a perfect decision made too late. Jeff Bezos calls this disagree and commit. You make a decision with about 70% of the information you wish you had, then you commit fully to that decision. You can always course correct later. Here's the truth about overthinking. It's not a character flaw, it's a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed with the right strategies and consistent practice. You don't have to use all 7 strategies. Pick the 2 or 3 that resonate most with you and practice them daily. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. The more you practice these techniques, the stronger your ability to catch overthinking becomes. It's not about never having anxious thoughts. It's about not letting those thoughts control your life. Start with just one strategy today. Maybe it's the 5-4-3-2-1 technique the next time you feel your mind spinning. Or maybe it's setting your first worry window. Small, consistent actions create massive changes over time. If this video helped you, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me which strategy you're going to try first. And if you know someone who's stuck in the overthinking loop, share this video with them. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone is showing them they're not alone in their struggle. Subscribe if you want more content about taking control of your mind and building the life you actually want. Your future self will thank you for investing in your mental health today. And remember, the goal isn't to never think about problems. It's to think about them productively instead of destructively. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Make sure you're the one using it, not the other way around. The choice is yours. You can continue letting your thoughts control you, or you can start controlling your thoughts. Which version of yourself do you want to be?